Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers that's pushing this truth uh, sincerely and constantly, so that we can be delivered from this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great, also known as America. Uh, I wanted to title this lesson, We Look to Be Washed from Our Filth. Israel as a nation is filthy in the eyes of the Most High. And we know that the only way we can come back into his good graces is by being washed, okay? By being washed from the ways of this world, from the filthiness of our life before we were baptized, okay? And that's not an instantaneous process. It takes multiple, you know, uh, could take years and perhaps decades to really fully get that wickedness out of our minds. But ultimately, uh, when we are delivered from this place, that is when we will be pure, you know, and clean in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Okay, so I wanted to get a couple of scriptures, starting at John chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. And Bethesda in the Hebrew is Bayath Chasad, which means house of mercy, okay? And or flowing water, okay? And I'm going to keep reading. It says, In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, of halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then, first after the troubling of the water, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And so, uh, during the time of Jerusalem, still being, having the Israelites in it, the there was a multitude of people, like I said, impotent people who were blind, physically uh, unable to do certain things, right? Sickly people, things of that nature, and they knew that there was this pool uh, that when an angel touched it, whoever was running towards the water and got in that water first, they would be healed of whatever illness or disease that they had. And so this is spiritual because as a people, we are blind, we are maimed, you know, we are deaf, we're dumb, you know, um, and by coming into this truth, by baptizing, uh, by getting that spiritual baptism through Yahweh Shai, we are becoming clean, we're becoming healed, we're becoming whole. Okay, it says, uh, verse 5, and a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. So this man was, it doesn't say specifically what illness he had, but he was ill for 38 years, an infirmity. Okay. And so it says, when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had now a long time in that case, he said that he had, I'm sorry, let me read that verse again. When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? And so, after him, this man being in a decrepit state for 38 years, okay, Yahushua saw and had compassion on that man and asked him, will you, you know, become clean? Will you be made whole? Will you be healed? Okay. Already knowing that he was suffering for a long time, that man was in that state for 38 years, it says. Okay. And the man said in verse 7, uh, the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to be put into the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Basically, the man saying, Sir, I want to be healed, but I can't get to the pool fast enough. Whenever the angel comes and touches the water, somebody else always gets there before me. I can't move quick enough. I need somebody. I don't have anybody to help me to the water to get to be the first one to be healed. Okay. Uh, it says, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Verse 8. It says, Yahushai saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. And so Yahushua cured that man. Okay? It was Yahushua. It wasn't, see, the angel, uh, angels have powers to heal and things of that nature, but Yahushua is the ultimate medicine man. Okay? We know that the things that he went through was for those who believed on him to be saved from the coming perils on this side. And that alone is enough to constantly be in Thanksgiving spirit. Jake wants to celebrate Thanksgiving, in a wicked sense, but we really have something to be thankful for, man. Yahushua came to heal his people, man. Okay. You don't want to get caught in the state of constantly being depressed at the state of our people. You see, we understand that there's a balance. The Lord came to reveal things that the prophets of old, man, they wish they could have saw it. This is a beautiful time that we're in right now, okay? And it's well worth any tribulation that we're going through, because it's really not that bad. This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 14. It says, O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness. Okay, us coming into the truth. What are we doing? We're washing our hearts. We're being transformed by the renewing of our minds, according to Romans 12th chapter. Okay. And we're washing our minds from wickedness. Okay. It says, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. You see? So we're looking to be washed from our filthy ways, okay, that we may be saved. Are we saved yet? No, which means we're not fully clean yet. You see? And we will be clean when Yahushua comes to deliver us, if we are those men. But he's going to come to deliver 144,000 Israelites. So somebody's going to be clean. Somebody's going to be washed from their wickedness. Okay. It says, how long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? You see? Thoughts of doubt. Okay. Thoughts of the Most High not dealing with me. Thoughts of, let me just, enjoy while I'm here. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's balance, but you don't want to be caught up in this place when it's time to get out. This is not our rest here. Okay. And so, vain thoughts, can trip you up. You see? Another scripture I want to get is in Isaiah chapter 4. Isaiah chapter 4. I'm gonna start at uh verse 3. It says, "And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem." So during the time of the destruction and after, uh, everyone who is left, okay, everyone who the Lord did not destroy shall be called holy, okay, because their names are written in the book of life, okay. It says in verse 4, when Yahweh shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. Okay, so during the time of Jacob's trouble, the entire nation of Israel is going to be cleansed. Okay, pursuing to Jeremiah the 30, I want to say the 31st chapter. Let me double check. Yeah, Jeremiah 31 and 33. It says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. Okay? It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sin no more. But this is after the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning cleanses the nation. Okay, the entire nation. But we look to be washed from our filth without having to burn with a thermonuclear fire. Okay, without having to go through the famine and without having to be destroyed by the sword and by pestilence. Okay, um, we look to evade that to be saved from that second death. Okay, which is the thermonuclear fire, thermonuclear destruction, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, uh, let's see. All right, so that's the point on that. And I also want to get Malachi. Malachi chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way for me. Behold, and the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant. Who is the messenger of the covenant? Yahweh Shai. Okay, his temple being Jerusalem, the people. Okay, Zion. You know, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in, behold, he shall come, saith Yahweh of hosts. So the Lord is prophesying, or the Lord is speaking through Malachi, who is prophesying the coming of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it says in verse 2, but who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. See, because he cleansed, he's a refiner's fire. Okay. For example, I want to say, well, basically in the law, when uh when we went to war, the way we would cleanse our metals and things of that nature, we would put it in the fire. Okay, like when we would knocking down the Philistines, Perizzites, Girgashites, you know, and they had blood on them and they were filthy. In order to cleanse those swords and the shields and stuff like that, you would purify it with the fire. Okay, and so that's essentially how the Lord is going to do us. Because right now we're filthy. We got blood on our hands. We got well, Israel as a nation is just filthy, right? Okay, and so passing through that fire, whether it be the furnace of affliction or physical